Peace, peace. Ali, coming back at you with another video. And in this video, I want to share with you the common signs of a spiritual awakening. So welcome back to the channel. My name is Ali. I teach self-God realization and self-mastery. And one of the stages of self-God realization is actually having a spiritual awakening. That's the first stage of self-God realization. It's awakening spiritually. So that's what a spiritual awakening is. It's just you waking up spiritually. It's you realizing that there's something greater than humanity, that there's something beyond your five physical senses, the sense of touch, the sense of smell, the sense of hearing, the sense of tasting, you know, all your five physical senses. It's just you waking up and being more aware that there is way more beneath the surface. And in fact, that's one of the first signs of spiritual awakening, is that you have a greater awareness of that which is not physical. This could be your awareness that there is a creator, that there is awareness that there's multiple deities, or that there's awareness that intuition is prevalent on this planet. So just any kind of awareness or any kind of clarity or any kind of understanding that goes beyond physicality. That's actually one of the first signs of spiritual awakening. It's just a greater concept of reality. The second sign, and this is in no particular order, of a spiritual awakening is that you encounter a supernatural experience. You have a supernatural experience. Now, we say supernatural, but in true reality, all these things are natural. My first supernatural experience was actually when I was 7 years old. That's when I had my true spiritual awakening. I actually had an encounter with two angels. And when I got to be a teenager, I described them as cupids because that's the way they looked like, but they were totally brown. So imagine little brown cupids. Fast forward when I got to be an adult and I really started actively reading about spirituality and metaphysics, I found out that the angels have different rankings, and the angelic beings that I encountered when I was 7 were actually cherubs. So when you have a supernatural experience, this could be an ancestor coming to you in a dream, or any kind of dream experience, or just anything that goes beyond normal rationale. Any supernatural experience, extraterrestrial, UFOs. When you have a supernatural experience, more than likely you're undergoing a spiritual awakening. So the second sign, in no particular order, you have a supernatural experience. Okay, the third sign that I want to speak about is, and this is just general, you have an interest in metaphysics and the occult. You just have something sparks your curiosity and you're more interested in metaphysics and the occult. Now, metaphysics is defined as anything beyond the physical. The occult is defined as hidden or unseen. And spirituality is obviously unseen. So spirituality, metaphysics, and the occult are kind of like one and the same. So what this looks like is you're interested in a tarot for whatever reason. You could have been at a friend's house and seen a tarot deck on a table, and now that sparked your curiosity, and now you're interested in that. Or it could be astrology, numerology, crystals, the chakras, universal laws, esoteric information, just anything that deals with spirituality and metaphysics. You're newly interested in it when you weren't before. That lets you know that you're undergoing a spiritual awakening. Okay, the fourth sign of a spiritual awakening is you have intuitive impressions. You're realizing that your intuition is a guiding system or something that you can use in order to obtain information. This could be that you had a thought of someone and they called you, or they came by, or you're driving in your car and you have a thought about a brown four-door, and then lo and behold, a brown four-door just passes you by. So whenever your intuition is kicking in, that's more than likely a sign that you're undergoing a spiritual awakening. Okay, another sign of a spiritual awakening is that you're seeing repeating digits and numbers. Many people call these angelic numbers or angel numbers, but numbers like 1111, 222, 444, 555, just any repeating digit. That is another sign that you're undergoing a spiritual awakening. And the way I like to describe seeing repeating numbers is like akin to an alarm clock. When you wake up in the morning, especially if you have an alarm clock, that alarm is waking you up. And it's just basically making sure that you're up. Like, hey, there's something here letting me know to wake up. You can look at these repeating numbers the same. Obviously, they have meanings, especially if you're versed in numerology, where you can get the meaning of a number. So in fact, I have different videos talking about how to see repeating digits or how to interpret them. You may want to check that out. But for the sake of this video, seeing repeating numbers is a sign that you're awakening. Once again, just because you see the number doesn't mean they're special or you made it to the mountaintop. It's just the universe or your higher self letting you know, hey, wake up. There's more than meets the eye. Another sign that you're undergoing a spiritual awakening is that you're seeing signs and synchronicities, or you're experiencing signs and synchronicities. Now, a sign is just what it sounds like. It's you seeing something and it's prompting you to go further. A synchronicity is a meaningful coincidence. So this is you seeing something in two or more locations. To explain this in general terms, say for instance that you had of interest to meditate more. Like you wake up one morning, you just have this intuitive thought to meditate more. Then you go on Facebook and you see that somebody that you follow posts a meditation video. Then you go to work and your coworker has meditation books on their desk. All those are different signs and synchronicity letting you know that that's more than likely a path that you want to undergo. So seeing signs or recognizing signs, recognizing synchronicity is another sign that you're undergoing a spiritual awakening. The last sign I want to speak about is you have greater empathy. You have greater empathy. Empathy resonates in the heart chakra. Spirituality resonates from the throat and above. In fact, all your chakras are spiritual in nature, but just looking at it and isolating it, your spiritual registers would be the higher chakras. And if the heart is the gateway, that's where your empathy lies. So this is you having more feeling towards people, places, and things. So you could be watching a movie and it just touches your heart. Or you can hear someone's story and it touches your heart and soul. So when you feel greater emotions than you were previously feeling, that's a sign that you're gaining empathy. In fact, there's a lot of souls on this planet that are very empathic, where they are feeling and bombarded with different people's emotions. So if you're experiencing greater empathy, that's another surefire sign that you're undergoing a spiritual awakening. So I'm willing that these signs help give you clarity, especially if you're going through this. I would challenge you to put forth action to whatever you're awakening to. So if you have an interest in metaphysics or meditation, then begin meditating. If you're interested in the chakras, begin studying the chakras and applying some techniques in order to open your chakras or learn more about them. So my point is, whatever you're awakening to, this spiritual awakening is just waking you up. Now that you're up, what are you going to do? So I challenge you not to just sit and be like, oh, I'm having a spiritual awakening. I'm feeling like unicorns are flying over the rainbow, you know? Like actually put to practice whatever you're interested in. Remember, there's no one set path in order to reach enlightenment and become self-God realized. There's many paths, there's many tools. You're the ultimate master of your destiny, and I challenge you to put forth action with whatever you're feeling like doing. So this has been Ali. If you want exclusive content and access to me and also to join the community of like-minded souls, make sure to go to spiritualaccelerator.com, read all the information, and you can decide to join today. So until next time, this has been Ali. Peace.